session of Parliament that took place at Versailles and that was shown on that giant screen there voted overwhelmingly in favor of a woman's freedom to get access to abortion. And what the French government had said as it tried to push this bill through was that in light of the reversal of Roe versus Wade in the United States in June of 2022, but also the reversal of women's access to abortion elsewhere, it was important that this become a constitutional right. What the French government had argued was that it was important that future governments not be able to roll these rights back, and that this debate should, at least in this country, be settled once and for all. So celebrations here as the Trocadero as France becomes the first country to place into its constitution that crucial freedom.
What up, everyone? I'm Heatfire, and today, March 4th of 2024, France becomes the only country to have a constitutional right for women to get an abortion. And if this is your first time to my channel, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to read a few snippets for you guys regarding this article, and then I will give my thoughts and opinions at the end. So, with that being said, let's get it. Paris Associate Press. French lawmakers on Monday overwhelmingly approved a bill to enshrine abortion rights in France's constitution, making it the only country to explicitly guarantee a woman's right to voluntarily terminate a pregnancy. The historic move was proposed by President Emmanuel Macron as a way to prevent the kind of rollback of abortion rights seen in the United States in recent years, and the vote during a special joint session of Parliament drew a long-standing ovation among lawmakers. The measure was approved in a 780-72 vote in Palace of Versailles. Abortion enjoys wide support in France across most of the political spectrum and has been legal since 1975. Many female legislators in the hall smiled broadly as they cheered. There also were jubilant scenes of celebrations all over France as women's rights activists held the measure promised by Macron immediately followed the Dobbs ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court in 2022. Both houses of Parliament, the National Assembly and the Senate, had already separately adopted a bill as required to amend Article 34 of the French Constitution. The measure specifies that the law determines the conditions by which is exercised the freedom of women to have recourse to an abortion, which is guaranteed. The French measure is seen as going a step further in its guarantee of abortion rights than was the case in former Yugoslavia, whose 1974 constitution said that a person is free to decide on having children. Yugoslavia dissolved in the early 1990s, and its successor states have adopted similar measures in its constitutions that legally enable women to have an abortion, though they do not explicitly guarantee it. In the lead up to the historic vote, French Prime Minister Gabriel Attal addressed the 925 lawmakers gathered for a joint session in Versailles and called on them to make France a leader in women's rights and set an example for countries around the world.
"We have a moral debt to women,"
Attal said. He paid tribute to Simone Veil, a prominent legislator, former health minister, and key feminist who in 1975 campaigned the bill that discriminates abortion in France. Okay, so those are the snippets from this article. A lot can be said about this. So, what my thing is, abortion. It's like, okay, if a woman ends up getting sexually assaulted, right, and she doesn't want the kid, this is just my take on it. Okay, yeah, she should be able to, abort the kid. It's not her fault. It's not the baby's fault, but she doesn't know who this guy is, and it's just a bad situation altogether. Let's just say that. Yeah, I can absolutely see how, she would want that to be done. But out here in the United States, many women end up getting pregnant on purpose, and just to piss off the dad, they'll go and have an abortion. The baby could be 6 months old, 8 months old, it doesn't matter. And when it comes to that, my feelings on it is wrong to be doing that out of malice and out of spite. Should it be a constitutional right for women in the United States that I can think of? I would say absolutely not. Many kids are aborted each year. I don't have the exact findings and numbers for that, but if I do, I'll put a snippet up to show you guys. And what this is going to do, in my opinion, is since France becomes the only country to explicitly guarantee abortion as a constitutional right, it could influence other countries, just like the United States, to have women, especially feminists, want this to go through. I know that Roe versus Wade back in 2022, that was a huge thing then, and a lot of people were in favor for it, and a lot of people were against it. And my opinion is abortion should be taken very seriously. It should be taken very scrutiny, and not everyone should qualify for it. Just because a woman goes up to a clinic, that shouldn't automatically give her a right to have an abortion. Yes, it's her body, her choice. Yeah, I get that stuff. But when it comes to a baby, they don't consider the baby a human being in the womb for some reason. Even though it is a fetus, it has a heartbeat, it's still murder. All in all, that's what it is. It's a very delicate situation, and with this going forward, I do believe that this could roll out, to other people's ears, and they'd want to fight for this, especially the feminists. They'd want to fight for this to become a constitutional right. Doesn't make it right. It's just once something is approved somewhere, other places soon follow footsteps. This will be a very tragic thing if it were to happen everywhere. Less human population, more mental disorders coming from women. I mean, you got to think about it. If you honestly have to not even have the conscious thought in your head to want to go down to a clinic and have your baby sucked out of you, there's something wrong with you to even want to do that in the first place. Again, like I stated previously, unless a woman was sexually assaulted, then that's completely understandable. Other than that, if she's gonna, maybe die, she's having these complications, then, if there's a choice between the mom living and the baby dying, like I said, it would have to be very scrutinized on how these things go and moving forward. But that's just my take on this, you guys. I don't know. Give me your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. Let me know what you think about this bill. France becomes the first country to have a constitutional right for women's right to have an abortion. So if you like this video, please give me a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Late.